Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, I don't really post on a regular basis. Summer's coming up, so hopefully I can get back into it. I want to make a video today about the unseen world. And I've been meaning to make this for a while. I just been busy, life, work, kids, all this stuff. But all that stuff has to do with the unseen world. Some people call it the ether. Some people call it the spirit realm, the supernatural realm, the God realm. Whatever you want to call it, it's the realm that humans usually can't see or access. Now, when we are in our human lives, going throughout our work, our home, going shopping at the grocery store, we are not giving it much thought. The only time that normal people might encounter this unseen world is if you go to church on Sunday or whatever day you worship. You kind of get a taste of it. When you are singing in church or doing some sort of deep meditation, you catch a glimpse of that unseen world. And really in that aspect, you're connecting to a small part of like the God realm, which God rules over both our world and this unseen world. And that's why God's so powerful and Jesus is so powerful, because he has power both in our world and this supernatural world. So how do you access this unseen world? Well, back in the day, people would go on spirit quest in all cultures, and they go into the woods and isolate themselves for days, weeks, months. Jesus himself went into the wilderness for 40 days to connect more with God and receive insight. And fasting is another key concept. And as you get away from our human world, we could call it the natural world, you can tap into this spiritual world. So, if you know my channel, I talk a lot about Sasquatch and supernatural beings. Well, really, this is where that overlap is. So I've talked about before, maybe Sasquatch is some sort of wild human and that underwent some sort of metamorphosis. Well, a lot of times this could be a person that went on that spirit quest, tried to tap into that natural world, and that spirit of Sasquatch or a troll or whatever type of other being basically possesses their body, and they're not able to then come back to the natural world fully, and they can't reintegrate into society because basically a wild creature, a wild spirit, evil spirit, or a spirit that's different than a human spirit has basically pushed their human spirit aside and taken over their body and potentially even changed their form into some sort of monstrous form or whatever. Now, a lot of people don't buy into this. If you're not religious or spiritual, they don't believe in the unseen world. But I will say this, before we really had what we would think of as science now, we had alchemists. And alchemists were the first scientists, and they were doing different experiments and getting different results. And they noticed something strange. They noticed that sometimes when they do these experiments, something would happen that was unexpected, that they couldn't explain. And any time that happened, they equated it to the unseen world, this world we couldn't see. And those were the founders of modern day science, were these alchemists. Well, even scientists today have experiments that happen that they can't explain. And a good example is the Hadron Collider, which is this giant device they have built. I believe that it's Switzerland, and it is this huge circle where they slam particles into each other to see what happens. And as they're doing this, it kind of creates weird effects that they cannot explain. And I mean, honestly, when you are doing some sort of witchcraft or spell, you a lot of times do it in a circle and basically try to channel energy. So I feel like it's kind of that on a larger term. And they're actually building a bigger Hadron Collider right now to see what happens when they slam these particles together. And they're getting some really weird results that they can't explain. And, you know, is it trying to open a door to the supernatural realm? I don't know, but they do have the Hindu god of death as a statue on their campus at this Hadron Collider facility, which is a wild coincidence. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to know how much people know. You know, a lot of these occult societies that kind of run our world, allegedly behind the scenes, they believe in this stuff, and they believe in witchcraft, and they have ceremonies. So are they the ones funding this Large Hadron Collider to try to open up these portals to interact with these other deities? And I will also say that, you know, before they had science, they also would interact with these beings, and they knew different beings would grant different sort of boons, if you will. So they pray to certain deities and gods, and for good weather, good crops, all this different things, and it would yield results. Like, you think that a chieftain of Vikings or Native Americans, if that witch doctor or shaman or whatever they were calling them, if they weren't getting results, they were going to have some serious consequences, maybe even death. So they had some sort of skill to tap into this other realm power. And I mean, I've kind of experienced it myself on a smaller scale. I'm actually a relatively avid artist, and sometimes I can like tap into this realm when I'm doing my art, and you kind of just focus in so much, and these thoughts come into your head like a conscious stream, and you're doing your art without even thinking about it. And the art is the best art you've ever done. And if you're not in that zone, you wouldn't be able to do it that way. And it's kind of that way when you're praying hard or meditating hard or singing in church. You're tapping into some of that power. I also want to talk about giving, because this is a weird connection too. You know, call it karma, call it what you want, but when you give to charity or to a cause or whatever, you actually end up getting more wealth. And I don't know the exact, you know, terms behind it. I don't know how to express it enough, but the more money you give away, the more you get. And so now I want you to think about Bill Gates, and I want you to think about Jeff Bezos and these other billionaires that donate billions, millions, billion, I don't know how much they donate, tons of money to charity, because they know it comes back around. And you might say, oh, they do it because they're good people. Are they good people? Are they good people? And you know, the Bible kind of tells you if you give away your money, there will always be enough. And that's one of those teaching things. Now, I want to touch, I know this is kind of a rambling video. I'm trying to bring it all in. Now, I want to talk about Sasquatch. And if you've ever been to my talk, sometimes I'll give speeches in person at different events and different forums. So, what is Sasquatch? I think Sasquatch and trolls from Scandinavia were young people that went into the woods on their spirit quest that connected with one of these spirits and either willingly or unwillingly didn't want to come back to society. And I love the woods. I did a great hike this weekend. I hiked to some hot springs. I was in the woods exercising, drinking filtered river water. And I get it. I get the Sasquatch life, the appeal. You abandoned human life. You live in a cave. You survive off the land, fresh air, fresh, real food, just living your best non-human life. And I get why some of them might not have wanted to return once they experience that Sasquatch life. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you know about the unseen world? Have you experienced a connection to the unseen world? And, you know, I'd like to say I'll upload in a couple weeks, but who knows, guys? It might be a month, 2 months. Give this video a like and a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.